Okay, I'm gonna make this quick because I'm, boomer, old, and don't have time for your shit. PG-13 rating on this stream. Fucking, I don't know, come at your own risk. Anyway, welcome to the Insanimators, everybody!
Welcome to Insanimators, where we pretend to know what we're talking about when we really don't.
We've done that one
It hasn't
before.
changed. Hasn't changed since. Well, hey, it hasn't changed since season 1, and it sure as hell ain't changing now.
That's
Yubbish.
fair.
Lazy!
That's fair.
Mr. VA over here.
Okay, let's try this again. Welcome to the Insanimators, everybody, where the doors are locked and there's no windows.
Man,
That's
that was something.
Good or
Okay.
bad something.
Depends on how you look at it.
I'll let you decide.
You are not helping.
Am I supposed to?
Yes.
So what the fuck are we talking about today? The story arcs. Yes.
Storytelling, yes.
Yes, storytelling.
Yeah, story.
Smeeb, you're the most likely to have the most fresh memory about this because this was shit that was taught in high school for me. Do you remember the essential components of a story?
The fucking beginning, middle, end theme, uh, uh, fucking exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, resolution.
There you go. Thank you. That is it.
Well, that's all you need to know. Thank you for joining our stream, everybody. We hope to see it.
I'm going to drag him out the door.
Thought the doors were locked.
He's gonna leave it locked for a brief moment just so he can drag me out.
Don't let me escape now, buddy.
She'll bite you.
I will.
She's gonna bite me because I'm locked in the room with her.
That's fair. I do indeed bite.
I'm pretty sure. Was it you, Mason, that has actual proof of that happening?
I do, but it's like fucking deep in like our private general, and it's been a while since I've seen it.
Yes.
Like, I would have to scroll for days just to find it.
Well, let's put it this way. If we wanted to tell a story about Smee biting the ankles of Mason because of whatever
Actually,
the hell
she
he
bit
did.
my arm.
Okay. Biting Mason on the arm. We would be following that. We would generally be following that same structure that Smeeb had mentioned. The build-up, the climax, the resolution.
Found it.
You left out 2 of the steps.
It's all this. Those are just
No,
redundants.
no, shut the fuck up.
They are redundant steps.
Okay.
The build-up
Would it...
and the what was it? The rising action. Same thing to me.
Okay. You still skipped 2 steps.
Okay. What was that?
Anyways, so
Boomer memory.
We're here to talk about boomer memory.
So Mason, the real question is, what are you drawing?
Just give me. Well, I first have to apply a setting. I realize this is a lot smaller than I anticipated. I need to get it set up because I'm making a setting, as is important with world building.
And I'm drawing a stupid little Smeeb in the corner, so
But yes, I do agree that stories need all that fancy jazz in order for a good story to be conceived. However, it doesn't mean that a story can just happen just like that. Sometimes it can happen when you're creating your own little world.
Well, that's kind of the thing. The whole process is not for a story to be conceived, it's how to effectively tell the story. After all, an amazing idea in your head can be as amazing as you want it, but if you don't tell it in a way that makes sense to the people observing it, it's gonna fall flat because they're not gonna get a lot of the main like themes, the main messages you're trying to get across with it. For instance,
That's why it's
if we were to tell the story of Smee, goblin biting Mason, and then that's it, then we basically just made a TikTok video, not an actual story.
which is something that we do not want to do.
No. I ain't touching TikTok.
I hate TikTok. I'm sorry. To anybody who likes TikTok, if you think it's something against you personally, it is.
Thank you,
This is
Steve.
literally like the over-explained version of sorry, not sorry. But it's like also, but here's the thing: like when you're creating a world, there will come a point where yeah, you will have to explain like just what the fuck's going on in that world. But it's also just like the world could be its own thing. The story doesn't even need to be conceived or designed, because like some more often the case, like think about like Tolkien. Like he built this whole entire world. He built the land of Middle Earth, and like all these creatures, all this concepts that really just aren't really noticed to the untrained eye, because people were so focused on the story, because he created a story from that world.
Right.
Like, and I feel like that's a good example of one of my older stories, which I will not get into because I really want to keep it buried. But it keeps coming back like a goddamn zombie. It's like, feed me, Dad.
Only you can do something about that.
Use an axe.
Close, but not quite.
But yeah, it's just like sometimes, like when your imagination is creating a world, you know, sometimes you just want to make it, like, give it a bigger reason to exist. Like,
Right.
like who lives in this world? What type of people are living in this world? Are these people even human? That sort of thing. It's so hard to make buildings.
It's hard to make buildings.
Well, yeah, what do you think I'm doing here? This is like a little sky view. But anyway, but the thing is, it gives you, hold on, let me rewind a bit. Basically, this is a concept known as free design. You're basically just kind of going out, creating what you want, you know? Like creating your own lands, your own places. Like, does it have gravity? Does it not? Or is everybody a jellyfish?
Right.
I'm looking at all of you. I know.
I'm not a jellyfish, I'm an anglerfish.
Why'd you have to choose like
moving on.
Why'd you have to choose like the fuggliest fish?
Because
have you seen me?
I don't want to say true. I really don't want to say true.
Don't worry, I got you. Matthew Lillard looking ass.
You motherfucker.
I will never let it go.
I am going to the nearest grocery store to hurl every fucking container of almond milk they have into the nearest dumpster.
Go ahead.
Where
probably
it
clear out the stock in the
belongs.
back. I wouldn't really care about that. I'm pretty sure the dairy would thank you for clearing up stock in the back room.
Oh, good. Then I'm doing everybody a favor.
Anybody working stock would know the pain that I'm talking about. Looking at you, Jonah. Who's probably not watching this stream, but still. But anyway, back to it. Like, yeah, so it's definitely a more expressive way to design your own world. I mean, and it's fine, you know, but the thing is, like, when it comes to that, like, people are like, oh, like, what's the story on? Like, if people ask that, like, it's okay to tell them that there is no story. You just wanted to create a world with all this stuff. You know, like you shouldn't be forced to make a story to fit the world. Like if you want to make a world because it's awesome, go right ahead.
Right.
When are we gonna get Zimland, Smeeb?
Uh, uh, oh, that's a good question.
He was like, fuck, why'd you have to call me out like this?
I don't know. Maybe once I finish chapter 1 of my stupid Invaders and fan comic.
Whomstadev.
Is that Dom?
I'm dying.
We got Dom! Let's go!
What's up, buddy?
So
I'm
how'd that speedrun
tired.
go?
I beat that, but then other stuff happened.
Fair enough.
Duly noted. Illegal drug stuff, I know.
No.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, we know.
Dom, you are far too innocent to be doing anything like that.
Yeah, we know you don't
No
do that.
duh.
We know you don't do that anymore.
More.
I never did it.
It's okay. It's okay. We're your friends. You can trust us.
I never did it.
To get you up to speed, Tom, we've basically been talking about like what makes a story just in general.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm gonna use some examples. I was talking about like free design, how like just creating a world can help develop a story. But of course, there's also like being focused, like having a setting that is entirely focused on the story, like where the world develops around it, not the other way around. Which honestly is like I can understand people like doing that. I just don't really see that for me. Minus one story that I'm doing, but that's because it's like already on a fixed setting. Like it's the rules that I have to play with that aren't mine.
Right.
I guess that makes sense. My brain is slow right now. Give me a minute.
Isn't everybody's.
I don't blame you.
Between the dog stuff and everything else, I'm kind of tired.
It's all good. I had a day. I had a day as well. Spent too much time in the white girl warehouse.
I don't know what that is, but okay.
Cold.
I was about to say, it's like, I wondered if Don was going to say, I don't know what that is, but it sounds terrible.
Well, if I don't know what it is, then I don't know if it's terrible or not.
It's Coles.
Oh, okay.
Coles.
Yeah.
Of all the places you could pick.
No, it wasn't my choice to go there.
Yeah. This is very filled canvas already.
I know, but okay. How do I adjust it again? Hold on.
The lasso thing.
Well, I meant like,
The-
how do I adjust it so that it's bigger? Like the whole canvas is bigger.
Oh,
Man,
then
I
you
don't
were
know.
asking The wrong
Oh, here we are.
person.
Expand canvas.
So I think if
Makes
anybody
sense.
here
Or
has
resize canvas.
a better idea of what good storytelling tends to entail.
Sorry. Sorry, it's just you gotta remember my keypad is connected to my soundboard, so.
Oh wow, that was.
I apologize for all that just happened, but I'm glad it made Smeeb laugh.
What the fuck?
All right, so now the canvas should be bigger. Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, I tend to cover most of the canvas. Oh, wait a minute, Smeeb, I just realized something.
What?
Draw your character with your new emo hair.
That's what I just did.
With the blue streak.
With the blue streak, okay.
But
Is there anything else that I missed?
I have
Honestly,
emo
no.
hair now.
We're talking about the
Good
components
plan.
that make up good storytelling, and as I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted by somebody's soundboard.
You're welcome.
I think the one person in this chat that might have the best idea of what tends to entail good storytelling would be Dom, with the sheer amount of anime that he watches.
Hi, I guess I'm the expert today.
I mean, are you? Do you classify
Kinda.
yourself?
Not, I personally don't put myself on a pedestal like ever, but okay.
So, Dom, as the expert, what makes a good story?
Well, you gotta start with the characters. You gotta have the plot, the main character, the antagonist, if there is one. There doesn't have to be all the time.
That's true.
And as
Or
typical in
whatever.
anime, someone's got to die.
Yeah, yeah, and it's usually my favorite characters,
I mean,
but
that's
it's fine.
that's usually how they do it. I mean, fucking George R.R. Martin did that a lot.
Mm. I'm still mad that when I watched Full Metal Alchemist with Dana, I got attached to a character, and that was the first thing I saw was them dying. That was fun. Not really, but
That's usually how it is. It's like, but you got to think about it from the author's point of view on that. Like how heartbroken do you think they feel about killing off one of their characters?
That
Oh,
depends.
they
especially the one
laugh.
that looked like
They laugh.
Markiplier.
No,
Like,
as someone who makes characters and helps write for other projects, when we kill a character, we laugh.
that
I only laugh at one
maniacally.
me. I
character.
want you to know that this is making you sound more sadistic than you already are.
Listen, you can ask anybody who has like OCs and stuff. Putting your character sorry sorry
Anyway,
putting your characters through hell is like the best thing ever.
I mean, I second this notion. Like, I'm basically just torturing my OC to the bone.
I'm
Right.
so tired that my hand
So
is shaking.
so when we kill a character, we aren't killing them, we're putting them out of their misery.
Especially if it's the type where they get hurt a lot.
Right.
Like, be it physical, emotional. Like, just
I'm
imagine we're
going
gonna
through some kind of pain right now.
I could just imagine someone's gonna try and cancel us because we're talking about hurting OCs, fictional characters.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
a
you're
lot
not
of
supposed to be hurt.
a lot of people who don't like me don't seem to know what fictional characters are, so
I wish some were real. It would be so nice. I don't want to live here anymore.
Don't I wouldn't stretch that. I honestly wouldn't stretch that far because
Bro, I'd rather live in the Tokyo Ghoul universe than anywhere else right now.
Can't say anything on that one.
Exactly.
but that also kind of revolves around good characters. Like, oh, I feel a burp coming up, but I don't know if it's gonna happen.
bro, mute if it does.
Well, while that's the case, yes, good characters are rather important for a story because you need something that keeps you attached to the story.
Yeah, someone to feel emotionally attached to and then cry when they die.
is this the
You
ball
know,
you're
like
gonna be rolling
me.
with?
I cried a lot when Hughes died. Give me a minute.
Wow, spoilers for
Spoilers.
people that haven't seen FMA.
Yeah, like, too bad. I don't care. at
Oh,
this
by the
point.
way, that's a quick rule I want to bring up when it comes to stories. If it's a story that's been out for more than never mind 10 years, if it's a year, you have lost your privileges to say spoilers at anyone that says something about a story. I'm sorry, you should have seen it by then, especially if people talk about it.
Yeah.
Like spoiler alert: Caesar dies in JoJo.
Good to know. I don't care about anyone in JoJo.
That's because you don't care about JoJo in general.
They can
I
all
mean,
die.
what else is new? But yeah,
I,
like good character design doesn't mean that they have to have characteristics that kind of helps them stand out from the others. Sometimes they can be as the most basic people you'll ever meet, and that's what sets them apart from maybe all the more exaggerated characters. Like I've seen that happen a few times.
Sort of, but let's face it. Do you remember the main characters over those more exaggerated characters? I mean, everybody tends to remember the villains more than the main characters.
that is
That's
true.
true.
That brings up to the point. Like I feel like villains get more love than the antagonists get more love than the protagonists. If we're being real here.
Oh, let me tell
Yeah,
you
like,
a
look
quick story. You remember my other podcast, Gab Hominem, right?
Yeah, when are
Yeah.
you gonna start that shit up?
Do you remember who my first two guests were?
No.
It was Krista Laporte and Chris Ayers. Chris
Oh,
Ayers.
yeah, I remember that. You were doing that fundraiser stream.
Yeah, Chris Ayers was the voice actor for Frieza. Also did voices for... I can't remember who the hell he voiced in Black Butler.
I just killed Frieza today. It was fun.
But I remember talking with him in that interview with him and Crystal, and he said he always loved playing villains more than the main characters because they always felt more entertaining and lively to him. He said he would rather play a villain that would die by the end of the movie than especially a very interesting villain over a main character protagonist that would be lasting through the entire series and wasn't as interesting as that villain.
You know, funny thing, I think you would ask Tim Curry the same question and he would give you the same answer.
Pretty sure. I mean, one of the big things, what was it? I think it was Nyan that was in that stream, and actually asked them the question, why do you love playing Frieza so much? And he said, because he feels very Shakespearean to me. And Chris is somebody who comes from a theater background. If you can't.
So that role was more or less perfect for him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss that man.
So alive.
It's probably fine. I killed him earlier.
We're never gonna hear the end of that now. Is that what this has come to?
It's gonna become a canceled Dom movement at this point.
I mean, I spent like 2 days getting Goku to level 250, which is apparently max level, just to kill Frieza with Super Saiyan God by the end of the Frieza arc.
Goku himself had to go almost Super Saiyan God to kill Frieza.
No, I'm talking at the end of the Frieza arc, like when Frieza was first introduced. I broke the game and managed to go Super Saiyan God.
You basically turn it into the meme where if Goku was extra prepared.
Yeah, pretty much. Because I bought a DLC and it lets you, like, super level up by training with Luis. It was awesome.
But yeah, it's like I can agree with wanting to voice bad guys because they are so much fun because they don't like when it comes to characters, obviously you feel like you need to establish rules so that they're not too OP or too pathetic or anything of the sort. And I think when it comes to making villains, their rules are a little more loose because you can really kind of go nuts with them. Like you can either make them the most enjoyable, fun, like goofy villain like Dr. Doofenshmirtz, or you can make them the most cold-hearted, cruel sons of bitches to ever walk the earth, like say Sephiroth.
This depends.
Oh god, not Sephiroth.
This depends on the tone of the story you're trying to tell. You know, Sephiroth being that cool, silent, badass type fits the type of tone and mood that the Final Fantasy setting always had. Whereas something like Doofenshmirtz would not fit in the Final Fantasy setting because he is so, like, colorful and doesn't take shit seriously.
Unless it was super funny as hell, then in which case we would make an exception.
Now you just, like, put that image in my head.
if Doofenshmirtz was in Final Fantasy.
Why would you do that to me?
Doofenshmirtz fighting Cloud.
And, like, he
Doofenshmirtz
gets-
is the one
like,
that kills Aerith.
he gets flown away. It's like, curse you, Cloud Strike!
No.
Oh God.
And likewise, Sephiroth would just not fit in something like it was Phineas and Ferb, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sephiroth would not fit in Phineas and
Harry would be
Ferb.
fucking dead. He would be dead. Like, it would literally just be like,
Man, I'm dead.
what a stream this is turning out to be.
But yeah, that's sort of why I like crossovers are a weird thing for me sometimes. But
Me looking at Smash Bros.
that tends to just
Have
be
you
a-
looked at Fortnite? Goku's in Fortnite now. Please
Oh
kill
yeah.
me.
Oh yeah, I know. I logged on to Fortnite yesterday and I saw that and I was like, oh no.
I don't even think I told you. Motherfucker over here ridiculed me for playing Fortnite, didn't ya?
Yep.
Yeah, I play it because my friends play it.
At
I
that
don't
point,
play it
at that
for
point,
this.
that's pretty much a prerequisite. But yeah, it's like, of course, Ark's right. It all depends on the scenery. You got to make sure that the villain, like just every character in general, that they fit the scene or story or mood, what have you, that you're trying to tell.
Mhm.
Because if they're out of place, then it would just feel very awkward. Like their attributes wouldn't fit with the overall theme, and like especially if you're trying really hard to try to put them in.
Can we talk about the ongoing thing where people think it's impossible to make a character without like intense amounts of trauma?
Yes, this is a trend that I have been seeing for a long time now.
It's literally in almost every anime I've ever watched.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use one of my characters as an example. Okay, one of my characters has no trauma, and that's like her whole thing because she feels unsatisfied with life and feels like she can't complain because the people around her do have like struggles and trauma and things that they deal with. And so like, you know, and there's another character who doesn't have trauma and is just there and is helpful and supportive. Like characters don't need intense amounts of trauma and pain to work.
Yeah, like there's the one guy from Silent Voice. He's just a normal, everyday kid who
Well-
makes friends with the main character who's going through emotional turmoil.
Mm.
Emotional damage.
This is kind of the
Pretty
thing I
much.
gotta make a differentiation. So, I already forgot the word, but this is one thing I want to try to like make sure is clear when we talk about trauma is that anything can be trauma. You know,
Right.
like the general definition of what trauma is a person's emotional response to a distressing experience. This is as of psychologytoday.com. That can mean anything. You can have trauma from a mosquito bite or a spider bite or something like that. But one of the things I think Smee was talking about is extreme trauma to things like, you know, a very tragic event that happened to you, like somebody did something to you in particular ways that nobody finds acceptable nowadays. I'm pretty sure I don't have to say the word.
Or exploring that part of the internet.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be straight up beatings or straight up assault or abuse or things like that. You can have that in a person's story, but it's
kind of unnecessary.
Well, not necessarily. It's more if that's the entire like thing. If that's the entire character is they were abused. I'm sorry, but that's not an interesting character. It's more interesting when you see them actually go through, as we discussed earlier at the start, the conflict of dealing with what had happened. I mean, it's kind of the whole point we ever see psychologists to begin with, therapy.
There's this one character I know, and I'm not gonna name them because I know, because yeah, I'm not. But there's this one character, and the creator just kind of shoved every single bit of trauma possible onto them,
Mm,
and so people were like, "Oh, what do they do about it?" And the creator was just like, "Nothing."
So fun.
that to me would immediately make me go, all right, well, I'm not taking a look at that. I'm gonna go look at something else. Partly because we look upon these characters the way we do because they're relatable in some way, you know. Like with Naruto, he's got a goal and he's got all this bullshit between him and that goal. He wants to be the leader of his village. Well, he's gonna have to prove himself to be capable of leading a village of people.
Like, be it through the classes he goes through, or but really just outdoor experience.
I love Naruto.
There's a lot of ninjas that want to kill him.
I know.
No,
There's several reasons why, but it's fine.
yeah. Now, setting aside the insanely exaggerated nature of that setting, people just doing hand gestures to make magic happen.
Oh boy.
That's like the best summary of Naruto right there.
That's
doesn't
literally
help
the whole
It's having an
series.
argument.
It doesn't fucking help that they also use scrolls from time to time.
Let's. Oh my god, the Naruto universe having rock paper scissors matches.
Those are the most intense rock paper scissors games ever.
Oh god, you had like.
It's weird because you don't see rock paper scissors in Naruto, but you see it in other anime like Dragon Ball and Hunter x
Yeah.
Hunter.
And
hilarious.
don't forget One Punch Man. I remember that.
Oh,
shit.
God.
Hilarious.
Now,
Dude, rock paper scissors in Naruto is like the funniest.
No, it's like
concept to
they
me.
do that. Rock paper scissors. Oops, sorry, summoned a demon.
Right.
no. In that case, all it would have to do, or all that would happen, is Naruto is in the middle trying to play it, and then he just does the quick little gesture. He turns into a hot girl. They get distracted, and he just makes off with whatever they were playing rock paper scissors to win.
Yeah, it is an anime after all.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, anything can happen in an anime.
We can touch on tropes
Anything.
later. But
That was mostly just season 1, though.
yeah,
Yeah,
After
pretty
season-
much.
That's
Why is it? Okay, I'm going on a tangent for this one, even though we've been going on a tangent for almost the entirety of this episode. Like, why is it that when like the first season of an anime happens, it's always the most goofy ass shit that you've ever had to deal with? It's the same deal with Naruto. It's the same deal with the very first Dragon Ball. Like,
Oh, I know that.
I have a theory about that. To me, it's sort of a thing of, hey, look at all, come have fun with us. It's like attracting people into into your doors, and then the moment everybody's inside, lock the doors.
I could see that happening.
We got you
Yeah,
trapped
but
in our emotional experience now, motherfucker.
Pretty much so. But yeah, it's
No.
just so yeah. Bottom line of this whole thing is that trauma, while it can make good character development, it has to make sense, and it can't be, and not all of it has to be fucking edgy as hell.
Now, I can point to one really good example of using trauma correctly. Does anybody remember Over on Host Club?
I think I've
I
heard
never-
of that
I've
one.
never watched it, but I've been meaning to.
Okay. Now,
Is that one on my list?
this is not a spoiler because it's literally one of the first things that happens in the first episode of the entire thing. The main character, her mother died as a child. The whole series is her using, like, those fond memories of her mother to, like, motivate her to an ultimate goal, which I think was, like, to be a lawyer or some shit. Like, I don't remember. But that's, like, saying, this tragic thing happened when I was young, but I'm not going to stay stuck in my past of that loss. I'm going to take this, knowing what she wanted me to do, and I'm going to do my best, even through all this inane bullshit that's happening around me.
You just described every anime ever.
Pretty much. Like, literally look up any anime and there you go.
Well, the mother dying is not the character's entire identity. That's the thing. She still comes off as, like, happy to be able to spend time with her friends, you know, getting so tired of all the rich people's dumb bullshit, even though it's just them being really fucking silly. But the whole
we can do this because we're rich.
but the whole thing doesn't revolve around the fact that her mother died. That's the thing. You can do trauma, or you can do traumatic experiences, but there has to be
don't make a big fucking deal out of it.
well, not you don't it's not that you have to not
don't
make a big
it like
deal.
don't
of it.
make it like the don't make it like the main fixing point of the entire show.
Basically.
Yeah, like I get tired when Naruto does this thing where the entire series there's always some form of flashback and they have to constantly remind you that something bad
my
happened,
God.
which is why this is happening. We get it.
Oh
Same
my god.
happens in My Hero too.
I was just about to bring up My Hero. My Hero turned into like 50% flashbacks. And I hate it. I hate when animes do that. We could use this to segue.
I
into
gotta
jokes.
wonder if there was like an anime, like one that I probably don't know that like it just went from like talking about good story arcs to just literally talking about anime. I just realized.
Well,
Well,
people tend to
like,
know a
most
lot
of
of
the good-
anime usually is one of the first things when they think about storytelling.
Yeah,
Well, let's
'cause
see
it's
if we
really
can
good
take.
at it.
Well, I say let's kind of steer the wheel on this one and take it to more Western cartoons.
Okay,
Uh-oh.
Adventure Time.
All right. Well, in the interest of another upcoming episode, we'll be announcing at some point because we already have this figured out. One of the big things that people have talked about is Has-Been Hotel. Forget
I
all.
said Adventure Time.
Well, Adventure Time too. I don't remember shit about Adventure Time, mostly because I never watched it, and it's been so long. I don't remember anything about it.
I
It's
know
good
the
that you probably don't know.
I know the storyline, but I've only actually sat down and watched like half of it, and then it got spoiled for me, and so I was like, yeah, I'm not watching this anymore. Thanks for fucking spoiling the whole series.
It's just me or does the internet has become a dangerous place for like
It has.
anything relating to new shit.
No, you didn't even have to finish that
Exactly.
statement. You just had to ask. I think the internet has become a dangerous place, and you could have done a full stop right there.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, let's actually use both of those as a good example of storytelling and what's part of the story, or rather the elements of the story, right? I'm pretty sure more people remember a lot of the story arcs that happened in Adventure Time than people recall Has-Been Hotel for its story, right?
Yeah.
right.
You
Mainly
see,
because it has only that one episode out. But
Well, no.
like, you
Here's
know,
the thing.
That's good.
I don't see anyone ever talking about the fact that Has-Been Hotel is bringing up an actual question of, can a sinner who is already in hell be redeemed? Like, you could have done
die
the
twice.
most fucked up thing when you were alive. Is it possible for you to be forgiven for that? To me, especially on a personal level, that's a story I really want to explore. But instead, all you ever see online, Instagram, Twitter, DeviantArt, wherever the hell you want to
Angel
look.
Dust is so hot.
Angel Dust art, Alistair art. There's a fair amount of Charlie art. I'm pretty sure Charlie and Vaggie. It's even shitloads of Husk art. You can think of anything.
Listen. No need to call out my past phases, okay?
No need to call. No need to call out my current phase. What the fuck you mean?
Meanwhile,
I mean, I'm safe here.
I used to draw so much Has-Been Hotel ship art. It was insane.
Meanwhile, you can look at something like Adventure Time, and you can recall the characters with some fondness, but you also tend to recall a lot of the stories that had happened in it. You know,
Some pretty
Right.
dramatic stuff.
like
too.
the very long build up to, was it?
Marceline and Princess
Yes, those two getting
Bubblegum.
together. I was about to say, like, I'm pretty sure I don't need to give a spoiler warning at this point. It's been out for so long.
Yeah.
Those two eventually do get together. It was something, like, I was sort of familiar with the characters, and then when I saw that they were finally becoming a thing in the show, I'm like, huh, I didn't think Cartoon Network would take that kind of risk.
Well, I don't really think it's Cartoon Network. It's more just like the authors and writers
Well,
of that show. that were
Cartoon
just
Network
like,
is the one that airs it on their airwaves. They would have the
But
final
even
say.
That, and they
so,
have
that
Steven
is
Universe.
still like behind the writer. That's still the owner of the writers and the creators of that show. Not necessarily. We gotta remember, there's a difference between development and publishing companies.
Sure, except Cartoon Network is literally a network. They are.
Sure.
They
Well,
are
you
the,
also
they're
have
the
to remember
host.
they have Steven Universe.
Yes.
And that's literally just the definition of gay.
Well, that okay. That ties in so much of what we've been
Steven
talking about.
Universe. Steven Universe is the definition of gay and one of the worst cast of characters I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
I just hate Pearl. That's all I hate. Pearl annoys me.
Here's the thing.
I like a whole two characters in that show: Peridot and Spinel.
Peridot and Spin. Yes, those two are so fun. The memes that have come out just from Peridot alone, I swear.
Peridot's awesome. We love Peridot.
Now,
You know, fun fact: Peridot was based off of Invader Zim.
oh God, really?
I don't doubt that.
Yeah, really.
I didn't know that.
Look, Rebecca Sugar used to be a Invader Zim fangirl and made ship art of herself and Dib, and it was funny.
I was absolutely not aware of this at all.
Well, now you're aware of it.
No,
I think I was ready for this conversation.
Steven Universe ties in
boy.
together so much of what we talked about up to this point. Namely, the big things of remembering the characters more than you remember the story. To some extent, that's true with Steven Universe. Depends on what season you're looking at. Remembering the story more than the characters, which is more of an overall thing with Steven Universe. And to that end, trauma.
Oh God. That's all Steven Universe Future was. That's literally the entire thing.
Yeah, that is it. And it's like, good on them for trying to address it, because there are some very valid valid points that I have seen the community make, or at least a friend of mine make, who got me into Steven Universe to begin with, and that he ended up with a very massive savior complex by the end of the main series. And so it's sort of honestly, I do see it as a legitimate like connection to PTSD with soldiers who come back from a war field, in that they have seen so much shit, so much death, destruction, and just painful experiences. How do you not come back from something like that completely, if not how do you not come back from that completely damaged, if not destroyed mentally and emotionally?
I think that kind of goes on to the quote from, was like, those who wish to go to war have never experienced it.
Yeah, it's and to me, I feel like it was one of those things that they were not expecting to have to like write anything about until people started actually talking about it in the community.
Yeah, I think Steven Universe made a lot of last minute writing decisions because there's no fucking way the Lars arc was planned. No fucking way.
So much of it. The same friend, I looked at them and always told them this. There's been a few of these episodes that have done this to me. I looked at them when I looked at an episode, and I went, "This feels like a filler episode," and they were like, "It's not a filler episode, though." It's like, yes, it is. Some of those things never came up later in the series, like ever, to an important extent. Thing is, what is this? Wait. Hold on.
What happened? Is someone dying?
No.
Dang. Thought we would have gotten some
No, I
drama.
think my shit just disconnected. Something.
Oh yeah,
Like,
also my
Like,
sprite.
are we still live? Is the question.
I'm sure we're still live, but my shit is not showing the desktop audio.
That's interesting.
Or at least it's not showing me the little, like, reaction bar thing. I want to make sure we're actually still on that.
I don't know. I could still hear us on the stream.
Can you? Like me saying this? Or us talking about me suddenly thinking that we're quiet on the stream?
Well, it's just like it's like I just realized through this entire time. Hold on, let's see.
Because I'm not even seeing our shit reacting still on that.
I don't even think
Oh,
my
I
sprite's
can still
met
hear us
there.
on the stream.
Huh. This is weird. Can you? Like me saying this? Discord
sprites
is
are up
just... What the hell? That's weird. Because our fucking sprites aren't even bouncing when we talk.
Huh.
That's weird.
That's odd.
Anyway, what was I saying? I already forgot.
You were going to talk about our featured artist.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, whatever it takes to get me off of this.
Here's the thing. I was going to make a good segue into that when we were talking about character designs, but that ship sailed before I could get that word in.
Oh, because
So
I
I'm
thought
just like,
I thought our shit failed on us.
No, nah, like we're still good. But yes, let us go ahead and take this time to talk about our featured artist that we haven't had in a long time. And I'm not talking about this person in particular, it's just that it's been a while since we've had a featured artist.
Yeah, I wonder why that is.
You shush.
Ah,
But
yes.
anyway, let's talk about should we use the name that was given to us or the name on our Twitter?
Give me a moment.
Because I got two different names here.
You both.
I've got the name Nightingale.
Let's go with Nightingale.
Because I don't see
But
any
yes,
other name that they have.
Like the one named. If you were to look into our episode planning, you'll see what I'm talking about.
No, that one's for the next episode. This is
We are so well organized.
We are so professional. This is Nightingale art. That is knight as in like European medieval knight.
Batman.
Shush. I actually discovered this artist when I was at the SAC Anime Con back in January. Pretty sure it was January. They were one of the artists that were, selling their merch and, picked up shitloads of business cards of artists in there. I'm like, hey, do you want us to show your stuff on this stream? And they were pretty cool. They were pretty cool with the idea. So, this is some of the pieces that they wanted us to share with all of you. And it's, I do really enjoy. We took a look at it last night, actually, making sure we were showing things that were rather up to date and looked nice. Smeeb liked quite a few of these.
Yes, they are very lovely.
And yes, they do all kinds of chibi art as well as,
Pretty sure they also do plushies and pins.
yeah, they do a lot of physical merch as well.
So,
I'm trying to think of
so
the
if you want to
actual
go and
term.
check them out, maybe buy their stuff as well.
Full art.
We got the link in the description, so check them out.
It is good
you won't,
stuff.
no balls.
But what if they actually don't have balls? What are you gonna do now?
Well, they're non-binary, so I'm not gonna bother asking that question. But yes, 23-year-old Nightingale. They're located at Soup. Legit, that is a location they have set themselves on Twitter. So it's on there. They have their card. That's CARRD. They have their card link on their Twitter bio. Go check it out if you want to go see more of their things, coffee and all that.
See, like motherfucking like. I can't. That's the one I'm stuck with. Is it coffee or Kofi? Because people have been giving me different answers.
I'm calling it coffee because of the theme of the idea. Give them a cup of coffee.
I'm more of a Kofi type of person, but that's just me.
I personally.
Oh my god!
Have we upset him?
Probably.
Kramer.
At least it's not the end of the world.
At least. Although I'm pretty sure some of us are hoping for that.
Maybe.
I know a few people. But like talking about all this stuff, then yeah, like we are, like, I think we are talking about the ideas that help revolve around these characters, but I don't know if we were talking about the characters themselves. Like, what really sets them apart aside from trauma, like their characteristics, their abilities, like what they do, their attitude, etc.
Well, this is part of why I come back to an extent to Has Been Hotel is that we see all this art of these characters.
But that's really it.
Yeah, it's kind of the thing. You want them to look visually appealing so that people can remember them and remember them fondly.
But the issue is that they're really only represented by one image, and that one image is repeated thousands of times.
They're represented by the image, not their character. That's the thing that bugs me a lot. All the love to the Has Been fan community, seriously, but when all you really like remember them fondly for is how they look and just a few of the personality traits they have, you're ignoring the entire character, which is like in some cases you can still say, yeah, I know they're an absolute piece of shit. I still love, all this art that I make of them, sure. By all means.
Looking at all you Valentino motherfuckers.
Careful, I don't need Lana kicking down the door on us here.
Bring it, Gator.
Look, you want to give anyone the death roll on it? Look at him, not me. I'm on your side with this.
I'll just run to
personally
Germ.
don't
I'll just run to Germ. He loves me.
He's going to hold you down for her.
You wouldn't do that to me, right, buddy?
Yeah, he would.
Yes, he would.
I'd help him.
Jeez, like, oh, come on, guys. I'm the nicest asshole you guys are ever gonna meet.
Listen, I love characters that are extreme assholes, like terrible people, horrible pieces of shit, dude. I love characters like that.
And
And
here's
let
the thing,
me-
like, and I know the story is still in development. I know that it's taken a lot of time to help develop that story so that the characters can be developed, but it's just more like it's to the point where the image for those characters is just not enough. Hence why you see all hence why you see like maybe 50-70% of the Has Been community making up their fan stories and kind of taking those characters in a direction that they want to see. Like I myself included.
This is why I wish I got you all to watch Hunter x Hunter before this stream. Because
Isn't
that
it
that
technically
anime,
like Hunter x Hunter?
you don't say the X. They put an X between every single word in every title of the episodes too. You
Hey,
don't
fuck you.
say
I'm gonna
the
say it
X.
how I want to say it.
Well, okay, I can't stop you. But
Thanks.
there are so many good things, like story-related things that happen in that anime that follow such a very, what's the word, satisfying flow.
That is, I think that's also one thing that has to be discussed. It's like, when it comes to stories, it has to flow well. Because, like, a story that doesn't flow well is a story that's not really going to do great in the long run. Like, yeah, you're going to have some few bumps and rapids here and there, but that's purely for the climax or a dramatic part of that story.
Yeah.
But
Hunter x
in
Hunter
the end,
is
it has
a
to be
lot.
smoothed out. Because otherwise, if it's a constant bumpy road, then people will want to get off. Like they don't want to partake in that anymore.
Yeah, I think that's another reason why I liked Hunter x Hunter so much. It was so easy to follow. The only thing that's confusing is the ability. That's about it. Like, their form of abilities is just a little bit confusing.
That's also the kind of thing I want to bring up. I know jumping back to anime, but it's like, why the addition of so many goddamn characters?
Yeah, I used to have that problem where like my stories would have way too many characters for no fucking reason. I'm like, oh, I like making characters.
That
It's, like,
also,
cool.
I think that also brings something up. Is that like, when you are building a world, when you are building a story, like, there are going to be some times when you have scenes, you have characters, you have events happening that may not fit what you're trying to tell to people. Like, so But here's the thing: it's okay to like just nix them out completely or edit it so that it does work. It's one of the different forms of storytelling, which is called like found design, because like you're not looking to make a story or make a world. You're looking for like you're basically trying to think of a way to make something work instead of just throwing it away, be it a character, a story, or what have you.
Right.
So it's like so say you have this dragon that is like that can only survive in warm temperatures, but your world is pretty much covered in ice. What do you do? Do you do you nix them from the whole thing completely? Do you change them so that they can adjust to the ice? What do you do? That is the constant question that a lot of people that a lot of authors have to go through in order for their story, in order for them to smooth out their story or smooth out their world so that it all flows well and that it all fits in the same thing.
Right.
So, what were to happen if you found a story like I don't know if anybody has had that experience. I don't know. I don't think I have. But what if you found a story where either the characters don't make sense or the setting doesn't make sense or the story doesn't make sense?
I've seen a lot of fan fictions like that.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's bound to happen, like, because fans can't help themselves but write stories based on what they want to see. But I'm talking more about, like, ones that are from the official guys, the official publishers.
Oh yeah, I've seen stories like that, like with people's like OCs and stuff. I've where they'll like have things happen for seemingly no reason, or like details about the world will change, like things that you thought were important turn out not to be important, and things that you thought were just like there for no reason, you know. Like it's
Somehow, Palpatine survived.
right. Like shit that just doesn't make sense, or like character traits that don't make sense, or like inconsistent relationships between characters,
Or forcing relationships.
forcing relationships between characters that obviously are not good together. Yeah, I hate that one in particular, and I know I'm a hypocrite.
Don't worry, we won't call you out on that. You're already calling yourself out.
I'm a hypocrite. I shipped. You know, I'm not gonna say what I shipped.
Like, it's okay. It's okay. We already know. Your secret's safe with us for the time being.
Oh, it's no secret.
I mean, I doubt
Oh,
it
boy.
would be.
It's like
But
my
yeah,
most popular art.